Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel again. Hope you guys have been enjoying this series this week. Again, it's a little mini series, just kind of go into to specifically show you guys how to strengthen certain areas of the body. Okay, this is a workout that I like to devise for people who are either recovering from some kind of previous injury or just have a weakened area of the body in general. Okay, so we're going to continue with our series today for strengthening specifics. Okay, we're going into the first part of this little routine. We're going to be basically talking about exercises to strengthen your abs, your overall core, your LPAT. Okay, so this general region right here, because as we all know, like I said, it's an area that you need to strengthen when you start off, especially when you're trying to build and you're trying to improve your performance. You need to have a strong core. Okay, so again, we're going to go straight into it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just kind of send me a little comment there. I can always return when I get a chance. And guys, remember, if you want any specific workouts or anything like that, feel free to let me know as well. Okay, so we're going to go straight into it. So today we're going to talk about the first part of our abs and core strengthening. Okay, so we're going to start off by stretching. So again, it's important to stretch, get into the whole routine of stretching that area that you're going to be targeting before you get into your workout so your muscles are nice and loose. Okay, again, these exercises are wonderful. Okay, they're not meant specifically for definition. They're meant more for strengthening in general of that area that you find in your body that is weak. In this case, we're talking about our core. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off here. Now again, this exercise right here, this requires a little stability ball. We're just going to kind of use it to stretch out. Okay, it's a wonderful little stretch to do. You just kind of roll on it, come back. Okay, you can go back and forth a little bit, just kind of loosen up, all right? Just keep your arms way back here, keep your lower back in the ball, and stabilize yourself as best you can. You really stretch out that abdominal wall. Okay, get a light hyperextension on the back, and do the best you can. Again, you're supported, you should be okay. And if you need to decrease a little bit of range of motion here, you feel free to decrease it. Don't need to go all the way back. Let's come up a little bit as well. Okay, so nice little stretch. Continuously go back and forth a little bit. That's a good one. So remember, when you're coming up, what I like to do is, after coming down from here, you kind of roll yourself back up to a seated position. Okay, it's the best way to do it. Okay, just keeping that in mind. It's important for you to just come back into that seated position slowly, and then you're good to go. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, another stretch I like to do as well. I'm just going to show you guys here. Okay, it's a little child's pose to swan dive. Now this one right here basically just requires a little bit of finesse. So you're going to start off in this position in all fours. Okay, you're going to start off coming back, just loosen up the lower back, keep those arms straight. Okay, make sure you bring your head in, right into your knees. Hold it there for about 3, maybe 5 seconds. And then you want to come in and then come all the way up. Again, you want to hold this position right here too, this little hyperextension position, and then kind of roll your way back against child's pose. You want to do that maybe 3 or 4 times. Just kind of loosen up the lower back. Okay, so you start off with a ball, just loosening up your abdominals. And now you're just going to kind of get that lower back and those hip complex nice and loose. Okay, one more time. You want to come in. Beautiful. And again, you're more than welcome to do this a couple more times if you want. Depending on how you feel. If you feel you're a little bit tight, you're more than welcome to loosen up a little bit more and spend a little bit more time on stretching. Okay, stretching should be taken very seriously, like I said, and you should be incorporating pretty much about anywhere between 5, maybe 10 minutes, depending on your extensive workout on a given day. Okay, you got to make sure you get your body stretched out before you get into your actual routine. Okay, so we're going to do one more. This one right here is pretty straightforward. Again, it's for mobility. But what we're trying to do here is basically just really loosen up, okay, those erector spinae muscles, which are basically the muscles that support the spinal column right here, which just kind of loosen up those discs back there, those vertebrae. Okay, so you're going to start off right here, keeping your arms straight up high. Okay, make sure you keep them high. You're going to hyperextend slightly. Hold that position for a little bit, and then you're going to come down nice and easy and kind of bend those abdominals. Keep your back arched. Come all the way down to the ground and reach down. Make sure you bend those hips. And then you're going to slowly work your way back up. The key thing is to kind of loosen up one disc at a time, come up to a standing position. And then you're going to lift your arms up high again, hyperextend slightly, and then slowly work your way back down. Okay, again, this is a mobility exercise that allows you to really loosen up those discs. Okay, loosen up the lower back a little bit too. Okay, so make sure to really get your body, your core area nice and loosened up before you get into the muscle contraction. Okay, it's important to keep this in mind. One more time, we're just going to come down. It's nice and slow, nice and easy. Make sure to really control that breathing when you're doing it too. Come down to the ground. And slowly work your way back up. Beautiful. Alright guys, so now that we're nice and stretched out, we're going to go into the routines. Okay, so these exercises right here, again, specifically for those of you who have a weakened core, weakened LPHC, alright, to really strengthen and get it back to good shape. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some reverse curls on the ground. Okay, now these right here can be a little bit challenging, so what I recommend is if you need to, you're more than welcome to do just knee ups. So there's two ways you can do this. If you feel that your lower back is nice and supported, if you have a little bit of strength, you feel confident that you can do these, you're more than welcome to keep your legs extended and then come straight up. Okay, these are what we call reverse crunches. So we're going to do a couple sets of 12. Now if you feel that your lower back is really in a vulnerable position, you're more than welcome to keep your knees bent and just kind of come down to the ground and then come back up. It's a little bit easier to do when your knees are bent. Okay, you're a little bit more secure in your hip complex. Your lower back doesn't feel as much pressure, and then you can easily come back and forth. Okay, so we're just going to do the easy version. So 12 reps, come up. Make sure to exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Nice and easy. So make sure to keep your hands flat on the ground. You want to get that support. Flat on the ground, just come way back up. Bring those knees in. There you go, nice and easy. You'll really feel after a while your quads are contracting as well. So not just the core and the glutes, you're also feeling the quads a little bit. So I'm going to play. Last one. And rest. So you're just going to rest here. We're going to make sure to rest about 30 to 40 seconds. Kind of recover a little bit and then go back into set number 2. All right? So it's so important. These regressions, guys, that I'm showing you are basic regressions that allow you to really give that support to the lower back. I know that a lot of you may have some complications with the lower back, or maybe the lower back it's not as strong as it should be yet. But if you continuously do these variations, okay, these regressions that I'm showing you, it'll allow you to strengthen that core region with time, and that's what you need. Okay, so let's get into set number 2 again. Okay, so again, hands flat on the ground, come straight up. Be nice and easy, controlled pace on the way down. Now what you want to do here is 2 things you can do. You can either hover with your heels on the ground, okay, over the ground, or you can touch and then come back up. If it's touching, obviously, will give you a little bit more of a rest point, but you're more than welcome to increase the intensity a little bit by just hovering over. Or if you want to go a little bit further, you're more than welcome to keep the legs straight up. Okay, so go with the legs fully extended. Okay, so let's keep it going. All the way to 12. Nice controlled pace. I'm going to make sure that breathing is consistent. Nice controlled breathing. Okay, a couple more. And rest. Nice job, guys. All right, so make sure to rest for a little bit. Again, your recovery period should be anywhere between 30 to 45 seconds between each set, and then obviously at the end too as well. Okay, so that's our first exercise. We're going to go into our second one now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some ab curls. So this one right here, again, in the same position. You want to make sure you just lie on your mat. Okay, now with the ab curls, I like to keep my feet on the ground in the same position. Okay, and you're just going to bring your hands behind your back, okay, behind your neck. And you want to come up and same thing. We're going to go up and do anywhere between 12 to 15 reps. I'm going to try and target 15, but you're more than welcome to cut it short if you need to as well. Okay, you got to make sure to push right in the middle of that abdominal wall as you come up. So inhale. Nice and easy. And then really push from here. You're not really pushing from the back of your neck here. Not using the strength from your arms to push up. You're using the strength directly from here. So this is your point of contraction and your force production. Okay? Nice controlled pace. Okay, so we got. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to 15. We got 3 more. Beautiful. You feel really the tension building up after a while in this whole region. Okay, so we're going to rest for a little bit. We're going to get into set number 2 in a little bit, okay? Feel free to grab a drink of water, everything you need, guys. Make sure to keep hydrating. It's important to do so as well in between your exercises here, okay? So again, I like to keep my hands behind my neck because I find this a little bit more support, especially for those who you feel a lot of pressure in your neck. Well, feel free to keep your hands behind because then you have a little bit more of that support. When you're doing these without the hands, you can really feel that pressure back there. So this is definitely a good support system right here. Okay, let's go back into it. Set number 2. You want to really control that breathing. Exhale on the way up. Make sure you push from the middle of your abdominal wall. Right finger rectus abdominis. Okay, so we got at least 3 more. We're going to go all the way to 15. 13, 14, and 50. Beautiful. Come down and just relax. Okay, so we're going to roll to the side. Make sure you come up slowly. All right, guys, so that was exercise number 2. Again, wonderful exercise to do, very easy. You have that support from the lower back, so you won't feel a lot of pressure back there. Okay, so when you're obviously lying down here, the lower back is supported. All you're doing is bringing up the upper part of your body, using that strength from that force production coming from abdominal wall to contract that same muscle group. Okay, so you're going to come up like this slowly. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a straight leg kick. So this one right here, basically, you're going to do the same thing on the mat. Now you want to make sure when you're doing these, you have plenty of space for you to move because you want to come back and do that full kick. So in all fours position, try to keep your back as straight as possible. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can hold in this position right here with your forearms on the ground, or you can come up high. I find that coming up high, you have a little bit more of that range of motion, and also in terms of that amplitude, you have a little bit more range as well. So I like to keep my hands on the mat, back straight, come straight back. Okay, these right here are wonderful to really target the lower back, the glutes, and also your hamstrings. Okay, those 3 muscle groups that work really well together to give that core the support it needs. Okay, so we're going to go into 12 reps on this one. Remember, trying to come in nice and easy. Okay, very controlled pace. Now with this one right here, guys, if you feel that this is a little bit light, after the couple sets, you feel that you're not really feeling a lot of tension building up in those muscle groups that I just showed you, you're more than welcome to add a little bit added resistance. If you guys have some calf weights at home, for example, it's definitely something I recommend. We're going to take a break, and we're going to switch over to the other leg. So again, after a couple sets, this may feel a little bit light, so you're more than welcome to add. If you have some calf weights, or if you have like a dumbbell, you're more than welcome to put a dumbbell in between your feet as well. That's another variation. Okay, but this one right here, after about a couple sets, if you get to 15 reps, you can definitely start feeling some tension. That's a good thing. All right, so let's keep at it. Other leg, switch over. So a nice controlled pace. 2, 3. Again, I'm going nice and slow because it's not for cardio purposes. This is to build strength in the muscles that you need to give support to that overall core. So you got to make sure to really take your time on these. And again, if you want to activate your glutes a little bit more, you're more than welcome to come up a little bit higher, pointing that toe up. The activation of the glutes becomes a little bit more relevant, a little bit more apparent there. Okay, a couple more. Alrighty, so we're just going to give the glutes about a 30-second rest before I get into set number 2. And again, another great exercise to do to incorporate, because this one right here, again, guys, you got to forget that the core is a whole entire circumference of that midsection. It's not just the front part, you're targeting the lower back, the glutes, and the hamstrings as well to give that support. Okay, overall, all this is known as your core strength. Okay, so Getting back into it, set number 2. Make sure you give yourself an all-fours position. Try the best you can to keep your back straight. I know that some of you may struggle with this, but again, and I'll show you some techniques down the line in further videos to try to strengthen that back as well, which would be important. Okay, so let's go straight into it. 1, nice and easy, controlled pace. 2, 3, 4. You're gonna really take your time on these. 5. Really control your breathing. Keep it going, guys. Almost there. Okay, so we're going to go to 15 on this one. Okay, 3 more. And again, you will want to go a little bit higher if you need to activate more of the glutes. It's up to you. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to switch over. Do the other leg now. So switch over to, I'm switching over to the right. But again, we're going to be doing both legs, so it doesn't matter what order you use first. So we're going to, nice and easy contraction back and forth. 2, 3. Now this one right here requires like a little bit of stability, so it can be challenging, so make sure you really get your hands down on the ground. You have to really engage that core as best you can for stability purposes. Okay, so try to keep that secure. Back and forth. Almost there, guys. We got 3 more. Okay, last one to finish up. Beautiful job. All right, so that was a little leg lift there. Okay, in all fours position. Again, targeting the glutes, the hamstrings, and also the lower back, which are also muscles that require strengthening to give that support for the core that it needs. Okay, let's move over to the next one. So this one right here is a variation. Now, I love this exercise right here because it's not only for strengthening purposes, but also to improve your balance. It requires a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, this right here is what I like to call the bird dog. So the bird dog is basically a nice little Pilates exercise. That's what they use it for. Okay, it's you're doing the same thing you're doing with the leg, but you're also alternating with the opposite arm. So we're going to start off with the right side first so I can show you, and we're going to do it together with the left arm. So with this one right here, you want to keep your leg out so that the right leg comes out and the left arm comes out. And then you're going to bring it in. Okay? Now again, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to hover, but if you feel you need to have a rest point, you're more than welcome to bring the leg down to the ground. Okay, make sure your balance becomes really important here, so you have to stabilize yourself first before you get into the actual repetition. So you start off here, come out, and again, you can hover, or you can keep your stability for a second, and then come back. 2. So we're going to do 12 reps on each side here. 3, 4. Trying to keep your back straight. Again, a little bit more of a challenge because you're keeping yourself secure in one arm. It's that one arm that stabilizes, including your core strength, okay, to support you. But this exercise is definitely manageable. And not too complex, but at the same time requires a little bit of finesse. Nice controlled pace. Okay, guys, we got a couple more. So you're going to come out as far out as you can. So the arm goes straight out, the leg goes straight out as well. We're going to switch sides now. Just take about a 20 to 30 second break between each side. Make sure you recover a little bit, loosen up your arm. It can be a little bit challenging for some of you, so you have to really kind of take your time with these. And at the same time, you want to make sure to give yourself a little bit of a rest point between one side and then the other. Okay, so we're going to switch it up now, the opposite side. So again, now we're doing the left leg back and the right arm forward. Okay, so switch it up, 12 reps. 1, 2, 3, nice controlled pace. 4, 5. Gotta really control as best you can. Again, this does wonders for the hip complex and the lower back. Working the glutes in the equation, working the abdominal wall as well. There's a lot of muscles being targeted here, okay, in a very, very subtle way. Very specific strengthening technique. Oh, careful, so I almost lost my balance there. Gotta really regroup if you need to. Last one. And rest. Nicely done, guys. All right, so we're just gonna rest a little bit. Okay, that was set number 1. Make sure to take about a 30 to 40 second break. You're more than welcome to grab a quick drink of water and meet me back here for set number 2. Okay, so again, requires a little bit of technique. Definitely requires some stability. But again, if you find this challenging, you're more than welcome to regress the exercise and do it the opposite way. So this one right here is the variation I'm going to show you. Okay, you're more than welcome to go like this. Same thing. Okay, and it's the same function. You're kind of just alternating back and forth. Okay, this also works wonders for the core. Okay, just alternate back and forth. Or you can do it just holding the position. Okay, also asymmetric tension is also another way of really strengthening that core. So you're more than welcome to hold this position as well and kind of switch after that. So it's another variation. This is a little bit more supportive for the lower back. If you feel that other exercise, the first one I showed you, the bird dog, is a little challenging, this is a good regression to do. Okay, so kind of just hold it for about maybe 20 seconds, other side for another 20, or you can just do it back and forth together as well, dynamically. Okay, so it's a wonderful little regression. All right, so let's get into it. So set number 2, same thing. Okay, so it's in all fours position. We're going to start off again with left arm forward, right leg back. 1, 2, nice controlled pace. 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go a little bit higher because I like to activate my glutes a little bit more too. Be more than welcome to just keep the legs straight, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. 8. Okay, so we got 3 more, guys. Make sure to control that pace. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to just rest for about 20-30 seconds. Give yourself a little bit of a rest, and then switch over to the other side. Okay, got to take your time with these. These are exercises that don't require a lot of cardio focus here. It's just specifically getting a consistent tempo working into these exercises so you can really feel over time that tension buildup. That's what you want. You want to feel that tension buildup. You want to feel those muscles contracting because that's how you evolve. Okay, let's switch it over. So now the left arm forward, right leg back. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, controlled. 5, 6, almost there. 7. So 12 reps is pretty sufficient. If you want to go a little bit more, you're more than welcome to go to 15. I usually keep it about 12, knowing this is a little bit more challenging. Okay, a couple more. Last one. Beautiful job, guys. Alrighty. Okay, so that was a nice, again, 2 exercises there. One of them just working in the leg. The other one you can incorporate with the arms, known as the bird dog. And if you feel that the bird dog's a little challenging, guys, like I showed you, you're more than welcome to do the reverse bird dog, which is basically just coming here. Okay, and you can kind of alternate back and forth between positions dynamically, or you can hold a position as well if you need to. Okay, so great little regression as well if you feel your lower back can't handle it. We're going to finish off with a couple exercises that I like to specifically target for the lower back. Again, the lower back being the most important muscle group of the core because it's the area that builds the most tension in terms of that stress factor. A lot of that physical stress goes back here. A lot of people that don't strengthen it enough can really get into a serious injury. So you have to consistently work that area specifically as well. So what I'm going to show you is 2 exercises. We're going to do basically a half Superman position, then we're going to hold it for full Superman. Okay, so this one right here, again, doesn't require any equipment. We're just going to go down to the ground. Okay, and the whole point here, basically, the first one is just to keep my hands behind my legs back, and all we're doing is just lifting the upper body. We're keeping our feet down to the ground. We're just lifting up and coming down. Well, this one right here, I like to start off doing 10 reps, then rest for about 30 seconds, then do another 10 reps. Okay, so come up, nice and easy, and then come back down. Start off with the upper part. Again, this can be a little bit challenging. Okay, what I like to do is start off with just lifting the upper part of my body first until I get used to it. And then with time, you feel a lot more strength in the lower back. You're more than welcome to bring the legs up as well in the equation. But it's a little challenging to first start off doing both together. Although I am going to show you that today so that you know exactly how to progress. Okay, so we're going to start here. 10 reps. 2, 3, nice and easy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. All right, so we're just going to rest a little bit. Make sure to rest for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then we'll get into the second part, which is another progression, which is basically lifting the legs up. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to show you some variables of doing this part of the exercise, and as we go on, I'm going to show you, like I said, a couple progressions, which we're coming up in a little bit. All right, so with a progression with a Superman, what we're doing here is we're bringing our arms forward, okay, and lifting our legs up. The reason why is because we're going to lift both sides together. Okay, so in this case, in this second exercise, the arms come forward, the legs come back, and you're going to lift both sides. This is a progression, full Superman, dynamic exercise here. 3, 4, 5, 6, nice and easy. 7, really control that pace. 8, you can really feel that lower back building now. 9, 10, beautiful. So we're just going to take a short break. Now what we're going to do is, the third exercise I'm going to show you is another 10 reps like this, and then we're going to hold it for 10 seconds at the end. I like to give that extra boost. It's another progression after, there's the one I just showed you after that. It's basically doing one dynamic set of 10 and then one isometric hold for 10 seconds as well, which is another great progression. Okay, so same thing, so we're going to follow me. So 10 reps, come up, 1, both sides, lifting the feet up, lifting the arms up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to just hold the position for 10 seconds. Do the best you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And release, guys. Nicely done. Okay, so like I showed you, that first exercise we did is just basically starting out. For those of you who are starting off doing those kind of exercises for the lower back, I recommend you start off with just a half pose, coming straight up and down. Okay, leaving the legs on the ground. If you feel you want to progress after that, I recommend doing the dynamic one with the legs forward, arms up, and legs up at the same time. Okay? And then after that, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you're more than welcome to add an isometric hold by holding that position at the end for another 10 seconds. Okay, I just want to give you some progressions that you can do as you build more strength in the lower back. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed this little routine. Again, keep doing these exercises. They're very, very efficient, okay? For those of you who want to recover from this, from some kind of injury or some kind of weakness that you haven't really strengthened your core in general, it's so important to consistently do these routines that I'm showing you, okay? I recommend anywhere between 3 to 4 days a week, okay? It doesn't require a lot of time, guys. It's only about 20 minutes, 25, okay? Perfect amount of time to really kind of use to strengthen that, and then after that you can take a break and do it again. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for part 2, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and then from then on we'll discuss some other routines. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Till next time.